in Ames following Iowa State's 42-6 win over West Virginia to cap the regular season and clinch a spot in the Big 12 title game. Rob, I mean, I think that this was a game that, very well could have been a disappointing performance for Iowa State when you consider the emotional high coming off of last week's win and everything that was kind of going into this game, and of course the stakes as well for the program in a position that they'd never been before. But I mean, from beginning to end, there's only one way to put this, and for anybody not safe for work word coming, it was an ass kicking from beginning to end in this football game. And I think that that's just plain and simple the only way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from Breece Hall's first touchdown to the next one, and then Landon Akers' first career touchdown to go up 21-0. I mean, the defense gave up 2 field goals against. This is a pretty darn good West Virginia team that had shown toughness throughout the season, and the Cyclones utterly dominated them in every phase. As Neil Brown said, the Mountaineers coach after the game, that he said they were terrible in the first half, like they've never been. But at the same time, you got to give credit to Iowa State, who is really good. And yes, they proved it yet again. I mean, down the stretch of season, 5 straight wins, and to beat a team like that, 42-6, is beyond a statement. I mean, that's as close to a perfect football game as I've seen them play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when you look at what Iowa State was able to do offensively, and it wasn't just Brock Purdy, it wasn't just Breece Hall. Both elements of Iowa State's offense just complemented each other so perfectly, And Brock finishes 20 of 23 passing. Breece had just short of 100 yards, another touchdown, a receiving touchdown today. It just is. It's where this offense is operating at such a high level. You're seeing the offensive line. That West Virginia defensive line came in. The Stills brothers are 2 of the better defensive linemen. They'll probably both be all Big 12 guys when those awards come out in a week and a half. And that Iowa State offensive line was able to dominate them for the entire game. And you saw where Iowa State's wide receivers probably played one of their better games of the entire season, and you've seen that group really catch up to what the tight ends have done from the beginning of the year all the way to this point. And that's where, when you look at this offense, they are functioning at absolute peak performance right now. And I don't know, you got to figure out a way to sustain that for the next 2 weeks, but there's not many offenses, I think. Definitely not in the Big 12, but I think you'd be hard pressed in all of college football to find too many of them that are playing better than what Iowa State has over the last several weeks.
No, absolutely. And I mean, you talk about some of the headliners, but how about Kenny Nwangwu on senior day, 77 yards, the touchdown, and also indicative of how great that offensive line was. That was the proverbial parting of the Red Sea, as Kenny showed off his insane track speed to go untouched for that touchdown. I don't know. I mean, and then you look at Will McDonald, and all he has is 13.5 sacks in his last 14 games. Quan Bailey adds to his record. They rushed 4, maybe a little bit more off in this game, and they blitzed a little bit, but they still got so much push with those guys that, I mean, as you said, a dominating effort all the way across. I guess one thing we can't say, it wasn't Joe Rivera he's been awesome. It wasn't his best day. Other than that, and it didn't matter, fortunately. When it matters, Joe's been great. Everyone else, I mean, I don't mean to call him out, you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to find anything that seemed a little bit awry.
If the punter having 2 bad punts means that they'll win 42-6 most days, then I think that I will gladly accept it. But I think the thing that is the biggest takeaway from the press conference, and it was predictable. The guys talking about the job's not finished. There's more still work to do. More than likely going to play Oklahoma. The Sooners are up 10-0 right now at halftime, down in that game against the Baylor Bears. And I think that they know that. And I think we all know that this group is going to be ready to get back to work on Monday, and they're going to be in a position where they're going to put themselves in the best spot to be prepared to play Oklahoma or whoever it might be. Vernon asks if Bankston is okay. I guess I didn't even realize that he got hurt. I didn't notice that, but we don't know. Coach Campbell didn't say anything about that in the second half. And then Lance asked about guys. Can we talk about the rumors of Coach Campbell leaving Iowa State? I hope he's in for the long haul. Just wanted your opinion. I don't think Matt Campbell is going anywhere. That's my personal opinion. I think that Rob shares that opinion as well. I have no reason to believe right now that Matt Campbell is looking at any other job besides Iowa State. So that's where I stand on those things.
Yeah, it would have to be pretty ideal. I mean, you want to talk about perfect, yeah. And I think he still feels he's got a lot to build here. And he really has built this, along with John Haycock, along with Tom Manning, K. McDonald, Eli Rasheeds, all these guys. But this senior class, I mean, he was emotional after that Texas one about this senior class for a reason. It was really his first one. And yeah, there were a couple holdovers. Akers came as a gray shirt under Coach Paul Rhodes. But this means a lot to him. It's a fairly ideal situation now that they're competing at a championship level for really the first time. It's certainly in the modern history. So, yeah, I fully concur there. I did want to mention that Coach was asked about Dylan Sainer, who, of course, was in street clothes. After that, you can see that he got beat up a little bit in that Texas game. Campbell said he's hopeful that he'll be able to come back for December 19th, as you said, likely against the Sooners.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll be ready to go. He's an important piece of Iowa State's offense. I thought Jared Russ actually played really well in his places today. But if you're going to be going up against Oklahoma, you want to be as close to full strength as you possibly can be. All right, Rob. Thanks again to Karl Chevrolet for being the presenting sponsors. Let's get the rest of our work done, and let's get on out of here. All right.
Absolutely.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.